My name is Quentin. I grew up here in Arizona, specifically Southeast Arizona. I've been in the Valley for about 15 years. Right now I work in the healthcare industry as a consultant. I was kind of going through a rough period with my marriage, and there were some things that were happening that just unfortunately led it to not being viable any longer. And during that period of time, I'd kind of actually reached out to several different law groups. I reached out to Genesis twice, and it took me about a half a year to really get to the point where I was ready to move forward with the divorce. And I think probably the biggest thing I was looking for was an attorney who I felt would really represent me, and then also, given that I had a feeling it was going to be fairly contentious, someone who was going to basically be able to kind of withstand some of the vitriol that was going to be coming my way and presumably towards the attorney as well, and help me really navigate the course and figure out what it is that I wanted to get out of the divorce. I think probably the hardest thing was trying to kind of compartmentalize the divorce from what was going on with the rest of my life, but really just navigating what was becoming my new reality. One of the things I liked working with Ryan was the fact that he was pretty matter of fact, and I think he kind of cut through a lot of the stuff that was unnecessary noise and really helped keep me focused. Obviously the paralegals and everything, they were great in terms of, I guess, actually producing whatever legal work needed to happen and helping keep the process moving forward. I guess generally I kind of knew that Arizona was a common property state, but it's really a lot harder when you actually start looking at what that means, and especially when you consider the fact that any debt that one person in a marriage decides to take on, it's both people's responsibility, kind of regardless if the other person knew or not. I think one of the lessons I did learn going forward was that having a prenup isn't really a sign that you don't love your partner, or that you don't trust or value them. It's just kind of a way to make sure that everyone's in agreement with kind of how some of the more, I think, probably thornier issues kind of are handled beforehand. So with my new marriage, I wanted to make sure that I took the lessons that I learned from my prior marriage. One of I think the biggest things was just making sure that everyone understood kind of where we were financially and how we're going to be splitting up stuff either during the marriage or after, as the case may be. The biggest thing is just understanding that it is a journey, and you will get through to the other side. I think for me the hardest thing was obviously getting it initiated, just understanding that there is a toll, mentally, personally, financially, and just being ready to accept that, but understand that you're going to come through on the other side better off, and that there is hope for it. I would definitely recommend Ryan and Genesis. The biggest thing I really appreciated about Ryan was the fact that when things got tough, he kind of really did cut through the noise, but also he was honest with me. There was definitely moves I wanted to take or things I wanted that I think he did a good job explaining that they were either not realistic or probably just wasn't in my best interest. And overall, very satisfied, and definitely would recommend him if someone was in a similar situation.